what is up, you guys? It's Dustin, and I'm back with another video. How are you doing, Nick?
I am great. I am very elevated right now, and I'm ready to talk some with you.
Yes, so you guys know we've taken a little bit of time off. Our friend Vanessa was just in town, so we want to get back into posting content. This video is going to be about Jeffree Star and what he said on the BFFs podcast, because you guys are not going to believe some of the shit that he said. But of course, before we get into that, there were a few things that I saw while I was scrolling through TikTok that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Well, you guys know we just had Easter, and with Easter comes Peeps. That was one of my favorite candies as a kid to get in my Easter basket. I love Peeps.
Hey, Peeps! Girl, no. First of all, Peeps is not a candy. That is a marshmallow.
That is a candy.
It is a marshmallow. Would you guys consider Peeps to be a candy? I know that it is next to the candy section. I don't think it's a candy. I think it's a marshmallow.
It's a candy. It's a marshmallow candy.
I do not like marshmallow at all.
I know.
I will not eat a s'more. I will not eat
not a s'more.
None of that. My family growing up, we would always have bonfires in our backyard, and they would always make s'mores, and they would have these big marshmallows, and they'd always try to get me to eat it, and I was always so grossed out by it.
I love s'mores.
That's what I think about, and I still to this day will not eat marshmallows.
I love marshmallows. But you guys, check out this TikTok. This kind of traumatized me.
Number 3, which is a known carcinogen. That dye was banned in cosmetics in 1990, but it's still allowed in certain foods. Consumer Reports is calling on the FDA to ban it in foods. More than 2,900 food products contain red dye number 3. Just Born, the maker of Peeps, says its candies are made in compliance with FDA regulations.
I'm honestly not surprised that it hasn't been banned in food here in America, because we have the whole GMO thing, non-GMO.
Monsanto.
So, yeah, Monsanto. You guys remember that was so fucking big. But it's a little alarming that it was bad enough in cosmetics that they had to ban it, but why not ban it in our food?
Right? That's so sketchy and scary to me.
Now I'm curious, what other things that we eat on a daily basis have this red in it?
I don't even want to know, because you guys, if you don't know, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I have been obsessed with water talk lately, and the one that I'm drinking is probably full of red 40 or something, and they say that's really bad for you too, but this has to be better for me than a Mountain Dew.
There's a whole argument over on TikTok on water talk specifically. They're saying that is not actually water because they put the water packets in, but they also put some of the syrups. Mm-hmm. People are trying to say that is juice, and they don't believe that people are actually drinking water. Well, it's a whole argument.
Well, I mean, is it kind of juice? Yes. But is it also water? Yes. It's 10 calories and 0.1% sugar. So, I mean, this has to be better for you. Who cares if it's water or not?
No, I've been experimenting with some of these packets as well as the syrup, and it's actually really fucking good. I'm going to see how long I can go without drinking soda, because I fucking love soda.
Oh, I love soda too. You guys know I love Mountain Dew.
Dr. Pepper specifically.
But I am addicted to these. My favorite right now is the Sonic Cherry Limeade. It's so good. I'm gonna have to go and get more of them. Okay, so Water Talk has had me in a chokehold, and I want to show you guys what I've been drinking lately. And just for reference, I'm a heavy Mountain Dew drinker, and I have been drinking this. It is my new favorite drink. This Cherry Limeade tastes so freaking good. Now, I've already poured the packet in the water. I don't know how y'all are drinking tap water. That's just disgusting. I use Body Armor. Okay, so I'm gonna pour this in here, and then, I'm making a mess. This stuff right here sets this the fuck off. I do 2 pumps of this, and then pour the rest of my water. And this tastes just like fucking Tahitian treat. It is really, really good. It tastes like soda. I'm also super obsessed with these mason jars that my fiance bought. This is good. But you guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions on that down below. Did you know this?
No.
Okay, so moving on from that, I want to talk about Huda Kattan for a minute. I have made a few videos about Huda Beauty and Huda Kattan in the past, and to be honest, I have not kept up with her. I don't know everything that she's gotten into in the past several years, but most recently, she's being called out on TikTok for mean girl behavior. You guys tagged me a lot in this. It was going around on TikTok, and this person named Mina had posted a video basically saying how she does her color correction and all of that, and then Huda messaged her and basically said, can I repost your video? But she ended up reacting to it, and she did it in a really messy and mean way, if you ask me. You guys, check this out.
Areas, and then
Girl,
it should be good.
Okay, we do not need to use that much color corrector.
Okay, the next time you roast me or anyone, can you at least give the courtesy of telling us what the video will be about before we agree to letting you post it? Because had I known you were gonna roast me, I would not have let you post it. Because you clearly did not love the video. And you're giving mean girl vibes. Apparently makeup only has rules when it comes to me. That's great.
Flashback.
Color correcting. You always want to use orange on the greenish bruise-like spots, then green around all the reddish spots. Then I use yellow around where I use the orange spots because it cancels bruise-like areas. And then it should be good.
Okay, we do not need to use that much color corrector. Actually, the whole thing of color correcting is just to put a little bit of color corrector so that you don't see any pigmentation anymore. You don't need to put that much corrector on and then you need to correct your corrector. That doesn't make any sense. It's wasting a lot of product. The points are good, but using that much corrector, unnecessary.
End of flashback.
I'm going to be completely honest with everyone out there. When I first saw that clip and you were telling me the backstory of what was going on, I did have a little bit of a chuckle when I saw the video from Huda. I did. Honestly, that was my first reaction to what it was. Now, I understand why this girl is upset, but after I got done with my little giggle and you showed me the response that this girl had to Huda actually posting this video, and she was like, the next time you're going to slide into my DMs, and she actually showed what Huda said. I do think that she thought originally when Huda was going to repost her video, there was going to be no ill will or no malicious intent, and I'm sorry for laughing at first.
It was just her whole attitude in that, the way she did it. She was like, girl. I just thought it was a little like two-faced and rude for her to like DM her and make her think that she was going to repost her content in a favorable way, but instead she like reacted to it and kind of threw it under the bus, and a lot of people took issue with that, and I thought it was like really mean.
Well, honestly, what works for that girl and how that girl does her makeup and what makes her happy and makes her feel like the most like confident in how she's wearing her makeup is not going to work for everyone. So Huda can have her way of doing the makeup, and that girl can do her makeup however the fuck she wants to, and everyone else out there, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do with your makeup.
Period.
Period, bitch. Period.
But Huda did actually end up apologizing for what people called her out for.
Okay, my love, so the other day I did a video on TikTok and I was reacting to a content creator by the name of Mina. In the video, she applies corrector in a way that I hadn't seen before. The reaction was just supposed to be like a genuine reaction video. It works for her. It was just my perspective. It was supposed to be a little tongue-in-cheek because she did not take it that way. And she posted this video.
Yes, and then it should be good.
Okay, we do not need to use that much color corrector.
Okay, the next time you roast me or anyone, can you at least give the courtesy of telling us what the video will be about before we agree to letting you post it?
So when I saw her video, I was really upset. First of all, the message should not have said repost. It should have said reaction. Also, I always review my videos before they go up, but this particular time, there was a lot going on and I didn't get a chance to. And when I saw it back, I actually saw it back after it was posted. I was like, ooh, sometimes when you're recording and you're just in a moment, you say things that you don't always mean. And when you get to watch it back, you get to edit that out. And I just didn't get a chance to do that, unfortunately. And I felt really, really bad. So I messaged her and we've been chatting back and forth. I wasn't planning on doing a video, but she did ask for me to do one. And so I'm going to share with you guys the messages between both Mina and I. And it was really nice to be able to connect with her, to be honest. You know, she's a beautiful person. You know, I felt maybe I offended her technique. And that's the last thing I want to do. There are no rules to makeup. We're not supposed to have rules to makeup. There's different application styles, and we just have to leave it at that. I apologize, and I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart, and I really do hope that we can get past this.
And you know that there's a lot of people that look up to Huda because I've talked about her in the past with like John Cookie and like her sister and stuff, and there's people that are really passionate about Huda Beauty and all of the products that she puts out. She has like a cult following.
I don't know much about her. I just know that Michaela is like obsessed with her, and she sent her the setting powder that had like no fragrance, and she was like, oh my God,
of course,
like, to the camera. So that's really all I know. I've never followed any drama with her.
Well, you're not really missing much, but you guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions on that down below. I know that there's probably some of you that didn't even know that this happened, so I figured I would let you know. Okay, so it's time to talk about the man of the hour, Jeffree Star. Now, you guys know we're no stranger to Jeffree Star over here. We've talked about Jeffree Star for years now, and we pretty much know all the history and everything he has done. I know, how sad, but honestly, it's interesting. But he went on Two Chicks in the Office, I think is the name of the podcast, and then he went on BFFs, and he had a lot to say about a lot of people from his past. Now, we all know that Jeffree Star has been part of every single dramageddon that there has been, and Jeffree Star opened up and talked about his side of what happened with the split between him and James and Tati and all of that different shit. And I just found it really interesting that Jeffree Star said that Tati and James Charles ruined the beauty community.
As if he was not right there.
Right. That is such a big
front row. Front row. Like,
he was right there with the gasoline and the blowtorch, like lighting it all on fire. He was the one on gassing everybody up to cancel all of these people that he was arguing with in all of these different dramas.
He literally put out a tweet that called James the P word.
Yeah. Jeffree Star quickly became the anti-James Charles, and there was some good reason to that, I believe, but overwhelmingly, I think the response was that Jeffree Star was like poking the fire and poking the bear with all of these people back in the day. But he opened up about all of this, and he talked about it more than he has in a long time, you guys. Check this out.
So you mentioned, you know, that you took a little step away, then got into the TikTok because of controversy going on. The
internet exploded during COVID.
Yes, it did. And I think right before that, we saw like the James Charles, Tati Westbrook stuff go down.
They ruined the beauty community.
Okay, so here on Two Chicks in the Office, we have Jeffree Star basically saying that he stayed grounded, he knew himself, and that he just got away from all the drama. And for the most part, for the past year or two, he did get out of drama because he was nowhere in LA to be found.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming the people that do this podcast did their research, and they posted a picture of James Charles and wanted to know Jeffree's thoughts. And you guys, he didn't really hold back on this one. He said a lot of things that kind of shocked me.
He said that James Charles should be in prison, and that James Charles has no soul, and that he is evil and demonic. Sociopathic.
First thing that comes to mind is cell block 8 prison. This person should be behind bars. Yeah. Oof,
Free, what about you? You just meet her the other day or something?
Not her. Oh my God. I wish you could zoom in on the eyes. There's no soul in that fucking body. It's so sociopathic and creepy.
Yeah, I met him. We talked about it on BFFs.
Demonic. When you hear about people selling their soul.
Oh, didn't the Illuminati come for you?
They tried. I think they got a few of my old friends because they don't look like there's anyone in there. I want to like knock on their heads, but it might shatter all the fucking plastic.
That's
How
terrifying.
old is James Charles?
I think he's my age. I think he's like 23.
I'm kind of shocked and surprised to see Jeffree Star stoking the flames of this fire again, because it's interesting for him to be doing that all this time later. Like, what is the motive? Why is he doing this?
Well, number one, he does have a new launch coming. I think it's like the cotton candy collection. He just debuted it over on TikTok. I don't know if it was supposed to happen this way, because I saw Jeffree Star like introducing these new like liquid blushes that he's coming out with. And he's like, I know that you've seen some sneak peeks. One of these podcasts that he went on, or somebody that he was around when he was in New York, he gave some of these blushes, and she went on TikTok and showed one of these blushes of her putting it on and like how blendable it is before Jeffree even revealed the collection.
Later on in the podcast, he did say that his team is shopping around his autobiography, and he talked a little bit more about the process of having them ask questions to write this biography for him.
That photo.
That's very, very.
That is demonic,
nice,
baby.
Kat Von D.
Oh, a lot of pain and turmoil. That's what comes to mind.
I think she's trashed me before, actually.
Really?
Kat Von D?
Yeah, I don't remember over what.
She used to be so different. She changed her entire life and expected everyone to be vegan and go along with it.
Who is she?
My ex-best friend of 12 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was she on the tattoo show?
Yeah, she had her own show, LA Inc. It was TLC's number one show in the early 2000s.
Who was she married? She was married to somebody famous as well, wasn't she?
She Oliver Peck from Ink. What the fuck's the show called? Ink Wars? Ink Master. Sorry,
yeah,
so
Ink
many
Master.
tattoo shows.
I know.
And then she jaded Jesse James. Oof.
Yeah, Jesse James, I think, is the one that I was remembering.
Ooh. And then he cheated on her with 25 girls. We found out because that was
exactly 25.
More like 28. I was trying to be nice.
How did you guys find out?
I was gonna say that's a crazy, weird, like even number to pick. You know, like 25.
Yeah, I was trying to be. She hacked his email, and it was nuts.
Oh, that's sad.
It was fucking insane.
Very sad. Sad.
Damn.
Bye, girl. She's in Indiana now and left LA. Thank God. Oh, y'all really set me up.
Who is this?
This was an old best friend in the beauty community, and we are no longer friends. Rest in peace, girl.
She died?
No, she's still alive.
Oh.
She died.
I was gonna say,
my God.
damn.
Another backstabber. I did a lot for this
person,
and they couldn't handle the heat of being my friend.
Does anybody, and people ask, does anybody have a gripe about you and you're like, oh, this one's legit?
If you took a minute to look at all these people, they've never said anything bad about me. Minus like Kat making up lies. I did so much for these people and they couldn't hang. People don't know loyalty in the beauty world.
Are these people that like kind of faded away from you when you were getting canceled for different things?
They started to get a little like, oh, we don't know how to handle this. Might just be my friend. They didn't know how.
So this is a lot to unpack. Jeffree Star just got done talking about James Charles. They brought up Kat Von D, and then they brought up Laura Lee. So let's talk about Kat Von D first. Now, we know the history with Kat Von D and Jeffree Star. It was messy. It basically started the groundwork for what we know as the drama community today, because Jeffree Star fired back at Kat Von D after she uploaded that infamous video basically calling him a racist.
I feel like after she did that, it was all downhill for her makeup line that she had to sell it. And he said that she moved to Indiana and she's no longer in LA. So I don't know. I don't know much that's going on with Kat Von D.
Well, you know, I talked about Kat Von D a little bit ago, maybe a few months or so ago, where she threw out all of her like occult books. She said that she was turning her life around and she didn't want to be around like negativity and like negative forces and stuff.
Isn't her husband like into some weird shit?
Yeah, she said that there is a spiritual war going on in the world right now, and she didn't want to be on the wrong side of it.
She's not a Christian!
She could be a Jew and believe in God.
It doesn't matter. She's tampering in dark-sided stuff.
She's saying that what she was practicing was the wrong side of it.
That's what she was saying.
Okay, what was she practicing?
I don't know what she was practicing,
That's
but she
piss
had
off some people.
She had threw out a lot of like really old macabre books.
Her house in LA, though, I saw that it just sold. It was really cool. The idea of like a red bottom pool, it's kind of cool.
It looked like Kool-Aid to me, though.
It looked like Kool-Aid. It didn't look like blood. Like some people are like freaking out about it online, but I thought it looked pretty cool.
But basically, in a roundabout way, if it wasn't for Kat Von D and Jeffree Star snapping back at her the way he did, I don't think that his channel would have blew up the way that it did. I don't think that he would have got the notoriety that he had on YouTube that he once had, because after he like basically vanquished Kat Von D, people like took him in and took his word. Basically what I'm trying to say though is, if it wasn't for Kat Von D, I don't think that we would have had this rise of Jeffree Star that we had if he did not get that much publicity from it. So he had all that drama with her, all these dramageddons he's been in, but Jeffree Star is the one that's grounded. And I'm not saying that he's been wrong in every situation or that he wasn't right in certain situations, but the fact is he is a common denominator when it comes to drama and having your name associated with drama and tea and stuff.
Well, it's definitely interesting to see him try to rewrite history when people can just come on over to YouTube and find videos about what exactly happened during that whole entire time. But there are so many people over on TikTok that follow Jeffree Star that are watching these podcasts that are probably seeing Jeffree Star for the first time, so he doesn't fucking care. He's like, let me rewrite this, because I don't think any of these people are going to come out and say shit about it. You think James is going to sit down and say something? Maybe before his launch. Maybe before the makeup launch.
Not a snowball's chance in hell. I don't think that James Charles would want to open that can again, because it kind of like got opened a few months ago when people were calling him out again. And he don't want to go down that road, because remember, James Charles manipulated so many people with all of that. But Jeffree Star was also manipulating people too with that alleged voice memo that he never let see the light of day. But moving on from that, the second person that Jeffree Star talked about was Laura Lee. Now we know the history of Laura Lee and Jeffree Star together. Jeffree Star said that Laura had a black soul. I think that's exactly what he said.
That she was like one of the most evil people like he's like ever met or something back in the day. I don't know what exactly went down with them, but he said that he did a lot for her and she basically couldn't hang when he was like getting canceled and all of that.
Well, if you know the history of all these people, Laura, Manny, and Jeffree, I believe that Jeffree actually introduced them to the people that manufacture their makeup brands. So Jeffree Star was absolutely giving them like insider information on how to build a brand and build a good brand.
Remember when Jeffree Star exposed what the name of Manny's palette was?
Life's a Drag.
It was like, Life's a Drag, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember when that was tea. Like, that was a big deal back in the day, and that was like the most shady, cattiest shit that Jeffree Star could have done.
That was mean.
That was kind of mean, but nobody knew what it was. But Manny sure did, though. I'm not going to shit on Jeffree about his feelings toward Laura, because he hasn't obviously told us what all she has done to make him feel that way. I'm waiting for the book, because he did say that the book is coming. I'm going to be buying that book the moment that it releases, just so I can read through it and be the first person to report on it.
Or you enjoy doing that. I'm going to wait for the Audible. I'm going to reinstate my membership and I will get the Audible, because I am not about to sit there and read that shit.
At the end of the day, I think that Jeffree Star knows that drama sells and he thrives in chaos. And I think that this is another way that he's going to jumpstart his career to get people talking about him again. Because we all saw the way that he went after Michaela, and it really wasn't the way that he would have went after, say, a Manny or a Laura back in the day. So it'll be interesting to see who Jeffree Star goes after next and what he goes after them for.
Well, in one of those podcasts, he did say that him and Michaela did have a conversation, but he thinks that her people kind of like stepped in and said, like, you know what, you can't say anything about it. You're not doing anything with Jeffree. Like, leave him alone. So he thinks that Michaela's people stepped in and they were like, stop contacting Jeffree. autobiography, like to have nothing to do with him, and then she just kind of went silent on him.
That was strategic. They were probably like, no, you know the past that Jeffree Star has, don't mess with him. And they probably think that that could hurt her career or image in some kind of way. You kind of have to admit though, Jeffree Star has big balls asking her to review that mascara on his channel.
I think that he honestly knew that she wasn't gonna accept that invitation or even say anything about that. She wanted to like distance herself from that whole entire thing so fucking much, except for I think we all know why we're here.
But you guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. What do you think about Huda? Do you think that she was being shady when she did this video? I'm kind of thinking that she was. And let me know what you think about Jeffree Star bringing up the past again and kind of like somewhat in some way rewriting it to his benefit. And if you made it this far in this video, leave me a lollipop emoji down below because we don't have a cotton candy one yet. And we'll see you all in my next video.
Bye.
Bye guys.